I got melanin. Oh yeah. I got melanin. We got melanin. Melanin. I got melanin. Oh yeah. I got melanin.
So we are here with Noah Hoffman. Noah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem at all.
I'm 33 years old. I have two fathers and a mother.
Nice.
And my father, one of my fathers is of Tanzanian descent.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm living here in Berlin for 9 years now almost.
9 years, okay. And I've been here for 2 years and I'm like, go. No, I'm kidding.
And also you're from Switzerland, so could you give our audience a brief account of what it was like to grow up during the 90s?
I grew up in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, so that means like it is there was actually the least diverse, because the West, the French-speaking part, is much more diverse. So I was there were people from Eastern Europe there, and occasionally a few Turkish-speaking people, but very few people who look like me or like you. Mm. So it was I was the typical, like stereotypical only black person, and I experienced a lot of racism and a lot of harassment in school. Okay. And yeah, my parents tried to empower me, but because I only grew up with my parents, it was some things. They did many things right, but there are some things they simply could not deliver, or I could not
teach you. Yeah, exactly. It's very difficult to be a black person in society in general, but when you don't have the guidance there to kind of teach you how to handle certain situations, it becomes very, very difficult, I feel. So you're in IT or computing, and I see a lot of your Facebook page because I do follow you on Facebook, and it's hilarious, by the way. Guys, if you don't know who Noah Hoffman is, please go and follow his Facebook. You will have the time of your life.
Thank you very much.
No, so what is it like to be a black man in the world of IT or in computing? What is your experience like being in what I feel is a predominantly white field of work?
I always thought about I always articulated about how it is to be black in a white environment, but I never thought specifically about the IT field. Okay. So actually one should think, some people might think that the IT is actually something that is not very socially charged, because it's technology, it has predominantly to do with things. But it is not. It is very much dominated by Asian and white men, and sometimes Asian men. Yeah. And the good thing is you have easier ways to kind of prove your skills, because whether things work or not, there is not so much people can argue about it. I mean, yes, white people find a way to argue about a lot of things, but there is, in the meantime, it's still easier to very much say, okay, this is my code, or this is the network infrastructure, and it works whether you like it or not. Yeah. So this is an advantage. But in the meantime, of course, you have the same thing, where people sometimes make remarks, or there is also. One would actually not imagine it, but also the IT environment and the IT vocabulary is partially very racially charged. You have technical components that are called master or slave, where you...
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you just said that and I automatically felt offended. I'm like, huh?
Yes.
What? Yeah.
And this is how it is in technology books, in all tutorials, and it's people are not questioning it. And and I'm the first one who comes okay, how can I say something else? And people say, oh, you mean that and that? How it's written all over the internet. So and I want to change that. And this is kind of. But for me, it was personally the case. As soon as you have kind of draw your lines between your colleagues, the work itself is, despite the vocabulary, is actually very much, or is not so much charged with social topics, which can be a big relief.
So you described yourself as, I think it was, and I quote, a neurodiverse part-time activist. What exactly does that mean, and what inspired you to really get involved in activism?
The activism was part of me becoming actually aware of what it means to be black, coming from this kind of gaslighting trauma of Switzerland to the understanding that the experience I make is not an individual but a collective experience. I immediately want to become active in a certain way. Protests, organizing certain events. The activism is now a little bit reduced to the fact that I'm working and I'm studying at the same time for quite some time. So activism, if my Facebook posts are activism, then I would say I'm still a part-time activist. Otherwise, at the moment, I'm not. I'm also on the outer parts of the autism spectrum. So this is my neurodiversity, and yes, this is what I'm often writing about on Facebook, actually in short posts or all kinds of stuff. I'm kind of using Facebook a little bit as my stage. I backed away from the expectation to be a speaker of somebody, but intentionally make it only about me, because the differences vary very much, and I don't want to be a speaker being in many privileged situations that many people with ADHD or black people don't share. So I just decided, okay, it's just me trolling for a better world on Facebook.
So you are the co-author of the books Wintershorts and Spigelblick. What has becoming a author of a subject matter that you are passionate about? What does it mean to you?
It was very wonderful. I think I just thought, like, oh my God, you can at some point call you a writer now. So
yeah, right. Because I also do children's books, and it's like, oh my gosh, when it's coming to that point of publication, or when it's published, you're like, oh my God, this is mine, right?
The Spiegelblicke was basically shall be another anthology-like composition of black people in Germany who write whatever they want to write, whatever they want to say. Just because, like, I think in the US or there are many other contexts where there is so much literature, culture, where this is nothing special. But for black people in Germany, it was always also part of the struggle to just become visible. Yeah. I think Spiegelblick is doing very much that, like making us visible in our very diversity that we have in Germany, and also so are also the perspectives and the writers.
Okay, and for the people that don't speak German out there, can you tell them what Spiegelblick means?
Spiegelblick means looks in the mirror. Like
looks in the mirror.
So kind of a reflection of yourself.
Okay.
How we see ourselves, how we represent ourselves.
So your book Wintershorts, what is it about?
I feel like the average Berlin 10 months of winter. So this was some actually designed to be a lecture that has something to do with winter, that somehow processes winter as a general topic, maybe also Berlin winter. Some writers have made it a very Berlin specific thing. I just contributed something that was very winter, winter specific, but had not much to do with Berlin. So it was to have a result, to have something to read during the winter that also contains winter.
Yeah, okay, nice. A lot of people think that success equals fame and money. We don't think so on the show, and so we would like to ask you, what do you feel is successful, or what do you feel success is to you?
I think with an ADHD, you're often criticized for everything you do in a way that you forget things, or you forget things on one side, and on the other side there are people like, you need to be better because you are black in this society. And so these two realities, or things that are major realities, are like influencing me very much. So I'm still making myself free from that, because I believe this narrative of having to be better because one is black is ridiculous and is racist. I think it's very self-destructive.
Yes.
So success for me now is, I think, very much waking up in the morning and wanting to get up, doing what you've been doing yesterday and the day before, and which would be around something similar, and maybe though different than you've been doing before. I think this is how I would, and I can live with it.
Yeah.
I think this would very much be success for me.
Okay, and what kind of advice do you have for the people out there who may desire but are at the same time afraid of becoming activists, or working in IT or computing? Like, what kind of advice do you have for the viewers out there that are interested in this?
Taking care of my mental health and approaching myself with much love, though many of those steps actually seemed to the outside world as completely brainless, but just acts of self-love, and saying, no, I can't do that, in moments where actually everybody expects me to do something, or saying like, no, I want this to go certainly my way, this is something that is very important, and this can sometimes mean
setting boundaries,
dropping things when it's not working anymore, and it can sometimes mean like even going further when actually everybody else is telling you, no, this is crazy. Like when I went to the library after I was at the company party, and I said, no, I need to go now, I need to go back to the library, and everybody was having their glass of alcohol in their hand and was looking at me like, are you crazy? And like, no, this is how we work.
And that's perfectly healthy, I think, and that's another part of it. That's also a road to success. I've had to learn that recently. Saying no is okay. Very
important advice I would give concerning the IT. Today, the most junior, as also the most senior software developer, is somebody who has the privilege of having two computer screens. On one screen he's working, on the other screen he's constantly Googling what he's not knowing. This is how you start from day one, and you probably end up working like this in as long as we have two screens, or as long as we are coding and cannot ask immediately some AI in the cloud that is suggesting us things. So I encourage everybody to do it, being totally aware that they know nothing, and just ask the internet those questions you have. That's great advice, I think. Like, because we are made to feel like we have to be perfect at something before we try it or before we do it, and that's not the way I think life works at all.
Because really in life you have to fall down.
Yeah, exactly. Fail to succeed.
And then learn from your mistakes as well.
Word. Okay, Noah, thank you so much for joining us. But before you go, we have to play a game. It's game time. And this game is called Name That Blackter or Blacktress. After the break, we'll come back with that from Noah Hoffman.
I got melanin. Oh yeah. I got melanin.
We are here with Noah Hoffman about to play the game. Katrina, take it away.
This first Blacktress, I'm going to give a list of movies that this actress has appeared in.
Okay.
And then whenever you...
Noah, you are going down. Okay.
Here we go.
Ready.
Notorious.
Biggie Smalls. Wait, no. Whitney Houston.
Malcolm X.
What?
Angel of Essex?
Yes! One for Noah. Come on, Cassianne.
No, everyone except the right answer. Okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay, so for this time it's a black actor, and it's the same thing. I'm going to give a list of movies in no particular order that this black actor has appeared in. Jungle Fever.
Wesley Snipes.
Pulp Fiction.
Is it Wesley Snipes?
Pulp Fiction is Pulp Fiction.
Jungle.
Oh, it is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Let me hear it. I'm mad now. Dang it. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Okay.
So this is another black actress.
Okay.
So, Ghost.
Demi Moore. Oh wait, no, Demi Moore's not black.
The color purple.
Sorry? Why not?
The color purple.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
I got one. You have defeated me. I am ashamed. Thank you for joining us on Tones of Melanin.
See you on the next one.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Leave comments down below, and all of the information that you need about Noah, about us, will be in the description. Thank you for joining us.
And also please be kind in the comments.
Oh please, we don't care about y'all. No, I'm kidding. We care about y'all. We care. more.
We
Okay?
also want to any feedback, anything that you think we should change or we should continue. It would be great for us to know.
Yes, because we can only grow, and that's what success is, helping one another, right? Thank you, Noah, for joining us. Thank you, Katrina, for being my wonderful co-host.
Thank you, Cassianne.